What is cracking, everybody? You're back with Mr. Berger. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at this Royal Giant deck. Now this is kind of like your typical Royal Giant kind of splash support deck, and it has a few slight differences that we're going to talk about here in comparison to some other Royal Giant decks, but it's basically played essentially like the Royal Giant decks that you normally see. So this is going to be a little bit more play-by-play, a little bit less strategy. But either way, we're going to break down that deck a little bit here and kind of how you play it and, you know, the underlying factors and strategies behind it. So with a Royal Giant deck, you've got that one major win condition, and your deck is really focused around supporting that. That being, you know, your Royal Giant. So you got the Royal Giant there, and you have a lot of cards that kind of play their different role to support him. So why don't we run through the list and talk about each card. Well, the Royal Giant himself, first of all, you can use him in the back early on like I did there. It's something that I didn't do at first for a long time, and you know, I saw a few videos about him, and you know, there's definitely some differing opinions on how to use him, but I've heard that early on you can more safely use him in the back there, and then later once you get to double elixir and everything, that's when you want to be using him a little bit more often on offense, aggressive offense rather than just, you know, placing him in the back to build up a push. So the Royal Giant's your major win condition, and you know, since the buff, he's just been really powerful. You know, he doesn't have that same range, so he's not as OP when over leveled, but he's still a common card, so he's still really easy to over level. So if you're looking for a ladder deck, or at least like a major ladder win condition, Royal Giant is definitely one of the most viable options. It's still definitely very viable right now. Even in challenges now, he wasn't very good in challenges, but now that he got that tweak and that buff, he's definitely, you know, stepped up and taken that role of a very viable win condition in challenges. So keep that guy alive with all the rest of your cards, and then once you get into double elixir time, you can use him a little bit more aggressively at the bridge. But generally what you're going to be doing is kind of hanging tight and playing defense, and then using those support cards to mount a counter push with him. The only time you're really going to be cycling him in the back is if you really need to get rid of him, or you've got like a major elixir advantage, or, you know, whatever reason you need to get him out of your hands. Then that's when you'll be doing that. But for the most part, you're going to be hanging on to him for either double elixir, or for once you've used like your Mega Minion or your Electro Wizard or your Baby Dragon or something on defense, and then you're going to use him right there at the bridge once they're pushing across the bridge as kind of not only a tank but a massive damage dealer to their tower. So now that we've talked about the Royal Giant a whole lot, let's break down each of those other cards. So the Mega Minion, you've heard me talk about him before. He's just a really solid, stable support card in just about any deck. He complements tanks very well, he complements cycle decks very well because he's only 3. He's got really high DPS. If you don't answer him, he gets 2 swings off on the tower and does a huge chunk of damage. I mean, he's just good all around. He's flying, he attacks air. Like, it's just one of the most universal cards all around. And if you're thinking about overleveling a rare card, that might be the way to go. It's not one of those cards that's like, okay, this is super strong, so maybe you don't want to invest it into it, you know, like as an early on card. Maybe you want to invest in like something like the Hog Rider, or something that's really over leveled and becomes really strong when it's over leveled, you know, like the Royal Giant or the Elite Barbarians. But if you're looking for something that's just kind of safe and that you can use consistently through a whole lot of decks, and that you can use consistently throughout a whole lot of trophy ranges, then Royal Giant, not Royal Giant, sorry, Mega Minion is the way to go. Mega Minion is just a great card in almost any deck. So you use him generally after they've got something crossing the bridge. You use him to counter like their support units, like their Musketeer or the Wizard or Executioner. He's really great at sniping those. In a deck like this, you can see I use him consistently to counter the balloon. You know, he pretty much shuts down the balloon, you know, completely, unless the balloon is supported some way or another. And once you've used him on defense, you can send in the Royal Giant to tank and to go for an offensive push, and then, you know, the Mega Minion will be able to support him really well. And if it connects to the tower, it does an absolute ton of damage. So great card in any deck, and it fits very nicely into this Royal Giant deck. Alright, that was an awesome replay there. It took a while, but I was able to eventually break through. Let's go ahead and jump on into the next one. Alright guys, this is against a P.E.K.K.A deck. It looks like it's actually got Skeleton Barrel and Clone in it, so it's kind of a troll deck, but either way, it's kind of fun. This was the deck that I used in the tournament, actually, the most recent tournament, and my particular account here that we're looking at. This is actually my alt account. We're watching replays directly from it. On my main account, I used that Magic Archer control deck, and I did a video on that as well. So definitely take a look at that video if you haven't already. So let's talk about what the next card is. I'm going to skip the Fireball because I want to talk about the two spells together. Let's talk about the Furnace. Furnace is a great opener, and if we're going to talk about opening moves, that's probably your ideal go-to. It's just a great card to provide not only consistent damage down a particular lane, but defensive structure that pulls in giants and golems and hog riders and balloons and skeleton barrels in this case, and all kinds of stuff like that, because it's a building. It provides that steady stream of fire spirits, and they clear out swarm units, and they do a good chunk of damage to non-swarming units. They can chip away at things like musketeers, assuming that the musketeer doesn't destroy them before she gets touched by them. And if their opponent doesn't answer them, assuming that they're the same level as the fire spirits or below, and they're not above the level, then the fire spirits will consistently connect to their tower. At least one of them will, and it'll be providing you a steady stream of chip damage onto their tower. And even if they do answer it, then you're basically forcing them to answer it. You're forcing them to invest certain amount of elixir on a certain troop in the lane that you're setting those fire spirits down. And if you're playing this deck of challenges, obviously you're always going to be the same level as them, so you don't need to worry about it being over leveled. Because if they're over leveled, let's say that I was going up against a level 10 and my fire spirits were only level 9, then his princess tower would be one-shotting my fire spirits, and it would be basically nullifying that steady stream of chip damage, and then he wouldn't have to worry about it, and he could just leave that furnace without having to answer it, really. And then it would just be kind of this defensive structure sitting there. And again, you can use it on defense. You can use it to clear out swarms too, even as like a last-second resort. If you want to place it down right as a skeleton army or goblin gang is coming in, those fire spirits spawn like almost immediately, the first batch of the 2 fire spirits. So you can definitely take advantage of that, use it to counter things right away. Alright, let's talk about those 2 spells now, like I mentioned. You got the Fireball and you got the Barbarian Barrel. These are pretty good. Having the Fireball and that instant damage is just a good utility to have in this Royal Giant deck. You want to have that kind of burst damage, and you want to be able to support the Royal Giant and blow up anything that they're going to be using to counter it and answer it. You could definitely run Poison if you wanted to, or maybe even Lightning, but Fireball is a really solid card, really solid medium spell for most Royal Giant decks. The Barbarian Barrel, it's definitely replaceable, but Barbarian Barrel, especially at the most recent few metas, has just been really strong. And even though they're nerfing it a few times, it's been nerfed a couple times now, it's not that big of a deal. It's still a really strong, consistent card, and you can use it, to clear out swarms. You can use it to counter musketeers and wizards, and you can use it for a little mini tank with the Barbarian, so on and so forth. Alright guys, and that leaves us with our last 3 cards in the deck, and these are the most interesting choices, I think, or the most how would I say this? These are the ones that are kind of fluctuant in the deck. The Furnace, yeah, you see that in a lot of Royal Giant decks, so it's pretty standard. 2 spells, whatever, nothing exciting. Mega Minion, again, you see that in almost any deck, so again, nothing too exciting. But let's take a look at the next card here, and that is the Guards. So the Guards are a really interesting choice for this deck. Guards are they're still kind of an off-meta card. They've been buffed a couple times, and they're actually a really solid card. And almost any good player will tell you yeah, Guards are actually a really good choice, but they only seem to fit in certain niche decks. I don't know, guys, it's just there's better replacements, and that's really what it comes down to. It's okay, what else can I do that costs 3 elixir, that plays a similar role, is kind of a little bit swarmy, counters like princes and P.E.K.K.A.s and things like that. And the answer is a lot of things. You can put a skeleton army, you could put a goblin gang, you could make it a little bit more expensive and do something like, barbarians, or a little bit cheaper and do something like regular goblins or regular skeletons. There's just a lot of replacements that kind of play that very similar role. But the Guards, I'm telling you, they're a really good card. That shield effect is really beneficial. It can absorb a rocket potentially. So since they're a swarmy kind of card, they can be used to counter things like P.E.K.K.A.s and hogs even. And since they have that shield effect, you don't have to worry about them dying to spells, unless of course it's a poison or something, then it kind of counters them. But if they're running Hog Lightning or Hog Fireball or whatever, something to support their P.E.K.K.A., your guards are going to stay alive. They're not going to be able to log your guards fully and kill them, you know, like they would be able to do with a goblin gang, for example, and support their P.E.K.K.A. in that way. So the guards are just a really solid pick for that manner. On top of that, they've actually got longer range than you would think. They're not exactly melee range. They actually are able to, you know, poke out with their spears a little bit further than melee range. So if you're going up against something like a graveyard and you place them right in the center of the graveyard, they counter that really well because there's 3 of them. You know, they have pretty good attack speed and they attack from far away, so they can hit the skeletons from all around. You know, if they're on, like, say, the other side of the tower, it's a lot easier for them to get up to them than, say, like a barbarian or something like that. So guards, they definitely have their benefit. If you're going to replace them, maybe some sort of a swarmy card, like I mentioned, Skeleton Army or Goblin Gang, something like that, costs 3 elixir. Or one of the other cards I mentioned if you want to go a little bit more cheap or a little bit more expensive. Now, for the Baby Dragon, you know, that's actually not a bad card for a Royal Giant deck. It's just kind of like a splash support card. It's beefy, it does pretty decent damage, it's got splash damage, it's air, and it's air attacking. The only thing that I feel weird about with this is that there's no Tornado in this deck. And don't get me wrong, Baby Dragon's a pretty solid card no matter what, but it's one of those cards that's just, it's like Ice Wizard. Like, if you see it in the deck, you almost always think, oh, there's probably going to be a Tornado in there, because those cards synergize with that really well. So it was kind of awkward for me not to have a Tornado in this deck and have the Baby Dragon in there, but either way, it's not a bad card, and you can replace it with like an Executioner or a Wizard or something like that if you want to. And it does a great job of, you know, clearing out swarms, like I said, and because it's beefy and it stays alive for a long time, you know, it kind of counters that, or not counters, but counterpart, is a good counterpart, that's what I'm trying to say. It's a good counterpart to your Royal Giant there, because they're both, you know, really strong health pool wise. Like, they have a lot of HP, they can live for a long time, and, you know, it just works out really well as far as being a support card goes. Lastly, we got the E-Wiz, again one of those cards that's just good in any deck. This one's a little bit more straightforward. You know, it supports the Royal Giant. It provides that stun effect, which is really good for anything that runs a heavy card like a P.E.K.K.A. or a Golem, or maybe even a Giant, or in this case a Royal Giant, because it counters things like Inferno Dragons and Inferno Towers. So it's good for that. He's got the Enter the Arena effect, he attacks air. He's just a good all-around card, and he works out really well in this deck. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the strategy in the deck. I actually want to do some live matches after this one, so you can see here, it's a really close match, and I'm kind of hanging on, you know, by the skin of my teeth, and then decide, oh look, I can get some value there with that Fireball. Every time you send that Fireball in, you want to make sure you can get some value on the tower if possible when you're hitting something like a Wizard. We both go in with our tanks. I send the Royal Giant in, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can clip him before he can get me. The Goblin Giant doesn't live too long, it doesn't have too much HP, so right now we're both sitting at about 200 some HP left on our towers. You know, I brought him down, I had 500 some on my tower, I brought him down from like 1500, so I was able to kind of make a little bit of a comeback here, and let's see if I can pull it together in the last few seconds. And again, these were those grand tournament or global tournament matches, so it was pretty fun to be able to play this deck in those matches, and I had a lot of fun, you know, getting those rewards. But if you're looking for something a little bit more solid, P.E.K.K.A. control is really good right now. This deck, don't get me wrong, Royal Giant's not bad, it's just not in the best spot right now. And all I gotta do there is send in the Fireball to finish off the tower. Alright guys, I don't want to belittle the deck. This is still a really good deck, so if you like playing Royal Giant and you want to switch it up, definitely give it a swing, you know, give it a try. I'm thinking, why don't we do something a little different? I'll close up the video with like a live match or two. Why don't we go ahead and just jump on into a classic challenge? We'll play the deck live and see how it goes. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump on into a classic challenge here. Join the challenge, hit that battle button, and let's see how it goes. Alright, let's give him a good luck. What should I open with? I'm thinking I will probably open with, maybe just cycle the guards in the back. Yeah, that'll be decent. And then let's see what he does. Alright, he's playing that witch up there. I'm going to go ahead and fireball that, and then maybe I can use a Barbarian Barrel once it gets across to the bridge, and, you know, finish it off there. Alright, let's see what he does. Let's get a little volume here. It's a little bit quiet for me. Alright, there's a Valkyrie. Let's go to Barbarian Barrel, all of that. That'll take care of that. Let's get that Baby Dragon down to take care of Valkyrie. I think Baby Dragon will be enough. I'll put the Mega Minion just in case. I probably should have put it sooner, honestly. I was a little bit late with that, but I was trying to do without. I was going to invest that Elixir into the Royal Giant, and now I don't have enough for it. Ooh, he's got Inferno Tower. Okay, good to know, though. I want to keep that in mind, because that's a direct counter to my Royal Giant if he places it properly and everything. So let's go ahead, and now that I know he has it and he used it, he's going to have it out of cycle. So we're going to put down the furnace, and we're going to try to get that Royal Giant rolling on out. Alright, I'm going to roll out the Electro Wizard in the back. If I could clip both these guys with the Fireball, that would be absolutely amazing. There we go. And then here's the Barbarian Barrel to finish them off. This is going to be great. Alright, there's the Electro Wizard. Running in. Hopefully he can get a hit or two on the tower. Yes, he can, because my enemy invested so much elixir and all of that. Let's go ahead and just Mega Minion this guy. And we're going to get a furnace down here to counter all those bats. 1, 2. Ooh, it didn't get the bats, but either way, it finished off the Valkyrie. And, you know, it distracted the bats. So, basically did its job there. He puts the Inferno Tower kind of preemptively. I feel like not the best placement either, but it is what it is. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and... I don't want to cycle the RG in the back yet. I think I'm going to hang on to him. I'll put the E-Wiz in the back, actually. And then I'll put the RG down here aggressively once the E-Wiz crosses a little bit. Now, let's keep putting out support cards. And we're going to clip that Witch again. Yeah, that'll take care of that. I want to get another Furnace out, honestly. He's running double Witch. That's interesting. Alright, let's get the Mega Minion down. Let's get another Furnace down. Here we go. Let's take care of all of this with the Barbarian Barrel. Oof, a little bit too early. Alright, E-Wiz on in. And then we got the Baby Dragon. Got a Mega Minion here. I know I put it on top of the poison, but I wanted to clip those Barbarians for sure. That Witch is giving me trouble. It's staying alive for a long time. I haven't even put down the Royal Giant yet. I just haven't felt like I have the best opportunity to do so. I'm going to go ahead and counter that Witch, and then I'll try to put a little bit more pressure on the right. Let's go ahead and do the Barbarian Barrel here. That'll be a little bit of a distraction there. And then let's go ahead and start putting that Royal Giant down. And try to support it with the Baby Dragon. Yeah, it's hitting the Inferno Tower. That's too bad. Alright, yeah, I was thinking it was far away enough, but it wasn't. So that's unfortunate for me. But either way, let's stay in the match here. Get another Furnace down. All those Fire Spirits will clear all that out really nicely. Yeah, that was good. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to E-Wiz down here, and then I got a perfect placement for a Fireball right about there. Yes, nice. Barbarian Barrel to finish that up. And yeah, that was great. Alright, this is the chance to send in that Royal Giant. Ooh, a little bit scared of that. Let's send in the guards first. And let's send in the Royal Giant. And I don't know, man. It's going to be hard for me to break through. I might have to just Fireball it or something. Let's see, I may actually be able to get through with a Mega Minion here. That'll be really good. Yes, Mega Minion connects to the tower. Fireball the tower. Alright, now I just gotta play hard defense. And then I just gotta Fireball cycle the tower like twice. And then I'm golden. That's it. I win the match there. Alright, I don't have to worry about the left too much. He's poison cycling for sure. He knows what's up. He knows how to handle this. He knows what he's got to do to finish me off here. I don't want to just Fireball right away. I want to try to get some value, so that's good right there. I know it's not the best, but it is a little bit of value. Kind of last second Furnace here because I don't want that Valkyrie to connect to the tower. I don't have any weak spell, like a Zap, to finish off that tower, so what I really need to do here is cycle back to the Fireball. So I'm just going to be using kind of my cheaper cards. You know, there goes the Mega Minion. Here's the Fireball. Use it in the bottom left. Kind of not the best placement, but it works out great. Alright. Give him a good game. He gives me a well played. Awesome job, man. That was great. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on into, let's do one more. Alright guys, 1-0 in a classic challenge. Nothing to boast about, but nice little start here. Let's go ahead and do another match. Alright, let's give him a good luck. He gives me the thumbs up. Not bad. Gives me a good game already, but the game just started, bro. It's alright. Let's cycle Mega Minion in the back. That'll be a good start, I think. And then we're going to go ahead and... I could Fireball that, but I think I'm actually just going to Baby Dragon and Furnace. I got a lot of splash damage in this deck, so I'm not too worried about those rascals. I can take out those girls. Ooh, huge Barbarian Barrel value right here. If I can get all these guys at once. Yes, really nice right there. That was great. Alright, he's playing Mortar, so that might be trouble for me. Hopefully the Baby Dragon is enough to take that thing out. No, it's not. Unfortunate. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cycle E-Wiz in the back. And then maybe I'll get a Royal Giant out at the bridge here. Let's see. Oh, there goes the Miner for Minor Poison. He's playing Minor Poison. Alright, good to know. Is my Ewiz gonna make it? No, that's too bad. Alright, Baby Dragon to take out those goblins. A little bit late with the Baby Dragon, but Royal Giant looks like 2 swings off. Maybe 3 actually. I think he got 3 swings off there. Let's see. Baby Dragon finishes off the Goblin Gang. Proceeds on to finish off that Dart Goblin. Not bad at all. Good job, Baby Dragon. Alright, let's go ahead and use the Furnace here. Once we get enough Elixir, we're going to hang on, see if we can get full Elixir. I got a nice little start here, but he does know my deck a little bit now. He knows that I'm running Royal Giant, so he'll be prepared to counter it. He'll be a little bit more ready. Let's go ahead. I'm not too sure how to answer this. This is really awkward. Honestly, I feel like that was a waste. I just wanted to do something, but he uses minions, so now I don't feel like it's as much of a waste. We're just going to cycle Ewiz in the back now. The Mega Minion actually does do a good job there. It finishes off that Mortar. There's the Minor Poison. I'm going to go and answer with the Royal Giant. I'm waiting for his Goblin Gang. There it is. Here's the Barbarian Barrel to wreck that Goblin Gang. And then the Royal Giant is going to do a great job here and get a bunch of swings off. Barbarian connects to the tower as well, getting even more damage. Tower's only got 6 HP left on it now. That's pretty much it. Alright guys, I just need to play hard defense at this point for the next 40 seconds, and the game is mine. I don't think he can connect that much with the minor mortar thing that he's got going on here. So let's go ahead and fireball this. That'll take out that Dark Goblin and finish off that tower as well. And then we're going to go ahead and just hang tight. Let's Barbarian Barrel all of that to get some damage off on it. He has pretty consistent damage, but it's only a little bit at a time, and he's only got 15 seconds left, so I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. I could be a little bit aggressive and just kind of play forward here to try to, make sure that he can't do anything at all and just kind of enforce the win. But really no need to do that. There's enough time for me to just play defense and go ahead and finish it off there like that. Thanks so much for watching till the end, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments or suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this format of me kind of breaking down the deck a little bit first and then jumping into some live matches. Or would you rather see the live matches first, or would you rather have them as 2 separate videos? I appreciate any and all feedback. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a good night.